Thursday evening, I am home and I am back from a run and then a walk. I went 3.7 miles in 45 minutes, the same time as yesterday, but a little further, so let's do the math there. That's an average of 4.93 miles per hour. Again, I really pushed it. I had an extreme difficulty breathing at times just because my heart was working so fast and pumping oxygen so quickly I couldn't catch my breath. But I did more of the fast running. Again, trying to really push myself on my off days, which are most days because I really only go on one very long run a week. So good Thursday. Today was my weigh-in, and now I have completed all my work and all of my exercise, so it is time for me to watch YouTube and talk to friends online and do nothing, and as it should be. Hard work, hard play, I feel. I ended up playing basketball, and it was so awesome. I played it just by myself, but I was on the phone, and I wanted something to do, so I thought, oh, I'll go shoot some hoops. It was really fun, and I found out I'm surprisingly good at getting it in the hoop, like even from far away. I'm pretty good at it, and we had a hoop that we shot at when I was a little kid, so I knew that I understood the concept of how to do it, but I hadn't done it in a long time. So it was really fun. I ended up shooting hoops for like an hour and a half, which is a lot of calories burnt. I think an hour and a half of shooting hoops is like 350 calories. It was really fun, so I sort of got in some inadvertent exercise on Saturday, which is pretty good because I really had a lot of parties and a lot of alcohol and lots of crap food this weekend, so. I forgot to mention that the primary reason why I'm now focusing on speed especially is because I've decided to run a 10K this summer. Alicia, her username is MySkinnyMission. She and I got to talking in Stickham one evening and realized she's in Portland, I'm in Seattle, and we're both running. And we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we planned to do a race together to kind of motivate each other and have a goal to work towards. So we looked online and we found the Portland Marathon. It's you can either run a half marathon or a 10K or a 5K, August 16th, and we've decided we're going to run the 10K together. So 10 kilometers is about 6.3 miles, and they have a minimum requirement that you have to run each mile at a speed of at least 4 miles an hour. If I had to, I could run this race this week. I'm at that fitness level, but it would really be pushing it for me. So instead, we picked one at the end of summer that we can train toward and be really, really superior to by the time we run it. So it's my first race. I'm very excited. We just discovered that she's in Portland, I'm Seattle, and there's no reason why we shouldn't at least get together twice a year to run a race together. And it keeps both of us on track and training hard. So I'm working on my speed so that by the time I get to that race, running that 10K is a breeze, and I can run it at 5 or 6 miles per hour the whole time, no sweat. It is Sunday. I ran 6 miles, and Sunday's when I try to get in my longest runs, unless schedule dictates that I have to run the long run on Monday, but I try to get it out on Sunday. I did something that I haven't done in a while, which is run intervals on the treadmill. I haven't been doing that since last fall, and I went on the interval and I ran 2 to 1, which means 2 minutes at the lower speed, 1 minute at the higher speed. And my lower speed was 4, and my higher speed was 6, which is where my progress really comes in right here. I have never run 6. The highest I've run on a treadmill is 5.2, and I'm going to guess the fastest I've run outdoors is about 5.5 in bursts. So to run at high intervals of 6, that's just, woo, intense. And really the difference between 5.2 and 6 for me is the difference between running and running sprinting. Seriously, at 5.2, I'm running, but it's more in the jogging position in my body, even though it's definitely running. But getting up into 6, it's running faster, but I'm in the sprinting position. My legs are moving differently. My muscles are moving differently. I found it all very fascinating. The fact that I could maintain 45 minutes of interval running between 4 and 6 is just huge. Blows me away, and I'm very proud of myself. So that was 45 minutes, grand total 3.45 miles during the intervals. Then I ran flat at speed 4.5 for another 35 minutes, making my grand total 6 miles. So those last 35 minutes, it was pushing it, but it wasn't unmanageable. I knew I could do it because I had done it the week prior, except I'd done it outdoors, and I hadn't done the interval training first. So So grand total 6 miles. I got into this state the last 15 minutes of running, because I went for an hour and 20 minutes total. The last 15 minutes of running, I got into this wildly meditative state. I didn't want to keep looking at the display on the treadmill because I find it very distracting, and especially after you've been running a long time, you sort of get all obsessed with calculating, or at least I do, calculating the numbers over and over and over, and like, okay, I got this many more miles, this many more distance, this much more time, and okay, now I got to switch into the interval, and just monitoring it constantly was driving me insane. So I picked a spot on the wall ahead of me, and I just stared at it. And my eyes slowly glazed over, and I've got my music going, and I'm just staring at this one spot on the wall, and I went into this deeply meditative state where I could feel my breath going in and out. I could feel my lungs working. I could feel my heart working. I could feel the blood flowing. I felt my arms and arm muscles moving, my shoulders, my back muscles holding me upright. I felt my legs moving, and I just felt the whole system working. And it just was brilliant to experience that, to live in, I was just so in the moment. I felt the machine working, because all we are when we look at the world is our eyes and our brain, right? So we're just the brain observing, and then the body is like this extraneous extension of what the brain wants to do. And to be there, sitting there in my head, just my eyes and my brain, sitting there staring at this wall without seeing it, totally blank, totally zoned out, running, and to feel the machine, to feel my shell or my vehicle to interact in this world, operating solely based on my will, blew me away. So that was huge for me. I reached this new understanding of my body, and I found that when I became that aware of my physical presence in that moment, in that space, in time, my breathing became perfectly at ease. My heart rate was in the mid to upper 180s, which is generally when I'm gasping for breath and I can't. I mean, it's more than just doing cardio and having your breathing fast. Usually at that point, at my heart rate, my breathing is like, I like to say, like an asthma attack. Like I can't catch my breath, and it's just, feel my throat closing. But no, my heart rate was way up there, but I was breathing as if I was sitting cross-legged on the ground meditating. I was breathing deeply. My cardiovascular system, my cardiopulmonary system was in full operation, and it was like my efficiency at getting oxygen into my blood was quadrupled instantly. There was an awareness with being that present in the moment with my body and my mind, all at once. I saw the machine and I thought, this works. And I was breathing deeply and rapidly, but there was no struggle, none whatsoever. Breath was coming in, breath was going out, breath was coming in, breath was going out, and I felt myself living. And that's why I keep running.